Welcome to EV Loop, powered by Carloop. I'm Adrian Maidment.
And I'm Akhtar.
Hi Riz, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise Adrian. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot to get through this week.
Today we're covering what's making news locally and internationally, plus looking at new vehicles, our chart of the week, and upcoming EV events. I hope that's right, Riz. I hope that's right.
Let's get into it.
We'll first get into it with something people really like, and that's price reductions. MG prices have fallen.
Pretty much. And it appears that MG's made another round of cuts, particularly across the electric vehicle range. Now, for the very first time, you can get electric SUV for under $35,000 drive away. 2 years ago, we wouldn't have ever thought that this was going to happen. So that's happened for any MY23 build MG ZS electric vehicles here in Australia. And then there's a range of reductions across MG ZS 2024 build cars, as well as the MG4.
And they're not the only ones in town trying to reduce prices to sell vehicles. BYD's been doing a bit of that as well, haven't they?
Yeah, so BYD's had quite a couple of price cuts, particularly with the new 2024 BYD Atto 3, but in more recent times, the BYD Seal, which we thought was more of a end of financial year type of campaign, with their premium and performance models, basically seeing a price cut where the old recommended retail price is now the drive-away price. So you can get a BYD Seal Premium for under $60,000 drive-away and a BYD Seal Performance under $70,000 drive-away. So yeah, price cuts continue as the EV price war continues in Australia and New Zealand.
And not just, well, on the price war, but sort of another element to it is the battery. Back to MG, they've got a 10-year warranty now.
That's been a bit of a game changer, although there has been, a couple of headlines around, but I don't think they've really covered the significance of this. 10-year warranty on MG electric vehicles, that is sort of, a bit of a game changer because, all the myths and things we hear about electric vehicles and batteries are probably going to need replacement every couple of years. MG is now saying that for pretty much all the electric vehicles, they're covering it under warranty for up to 10 years, which the average age of a car in Australia is 9.2 years. That's a bit of a game changer. It'll give confidence to a lot more owners, businesses, industry, when they think about buying an electric car, that, they're in it for the long haul.
And that warranty's on the whole car, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive. Let's move along to we'll still stay in the sales area. This is some data coming in about Australia's performance for the Tesla and Polestar sales last month, down a wee bit.
Yeah, so they've had just over 2,500 Teslas sold in July, according to the data from Electric Vehicle Council. That's come in a bit ahead of the overall national sales data from Federal Chamber of Automotive Industries. But at the same time, Tesla's got a couple of new offers that they've just launched, such as really low interest rate on their vehicles, which might help boost those sales up a little bit into August. So time will tell. And Polestar as well, they had just over 90 sales for their Polestar 2 electric sedan, and surprisingly there were 12 sales of the Polestar 3, the new electric SUV, which are likely to be demonstrator cars at upcoming electric vehicle shows, which we'll cover later on in the episode.
And Polestar's got another opening of a outlet, haven't they? A retail space.
Yeah, new retail space in Sydney. This comes after the Melbourne space that was opened over 12 months ago now here in Chadstone shopping centre. So this new one's located in Sydney, along with relocation of the head office up to North Ryde. So yeah, good to see brand expanding as they sort of prepare for the launch of the more popular SUVs, the Polestar 3, and then later in the year, the Polestar 4.
International news was still with Tesla, there's been sightings of the updated and revised Tesla Model Y.
Yeah, we pretty much got the blueprint from Tesla when they obviously refreshed the new Model 3 that it was going to have a few more premium features to it. Elon Musk has, in the last couple of months, has said that there's no new Model Y coming out this year, so it could likely be early next year. But the first sightings now sort of confirm things that we were sort of expecting, such as ambient lighting along the doors and the dash, as well as having perforated seats for ventilation and heating. And at the same time, the rear looks a little bit different, where there's a potential light bar that runs across the whole width of the car. So, look, a bit of a facelift, we can call it, but it will be packed with a lot more features that we're currently seeing in the upgraded Model 3.
Yeah, so it's probably just going to look like the Model 3, isn't it? Because you do notice that big difference when I was in that dealership a few weeks ago. You go Model 3, this looks fantastic, and then you into the current Y, and it's like, ooh, it's quite plain in comparison.
Yeah. Well, I think Tesla's being a little bit bolder with their designs. And, for the sake of keeping everything streamlined in the production, they want to make sure they can use as many similar parts as possible. So that will be their aim. And, lots to see what it comes out as later this year and early 2025.
Chart of the week is focused on Victoria, Australia.
We've had a look at the data from Victoria, where EV uptake has surpassed 50,000 vehicles. It's nowhere near close to where New South Wales is at, with over 65,000 vehicles, but it's getting up there. So EV uptake continues to rise, sort of adding 5,000 to 6,000 electric cars to the fleet here in Victoria.
There's less incentives in Victoria, isn't there, compared to, say, New South Wales?
Yeah, pretty much. So incentives are also, there's definitely a lot less. Victoria pulled the pin a lot quicker last year, but also charging infrastructure is lagging behind New South Wales. So, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to do EV Charging Summit here in Victoria.
Yeah, okay. So now we'll move on to your highly successful EV events. Who were some of the people, speakers, vehicles there?
So a bit of recap, Adrian. We had our EV Charging Summit 2024 here in Victoria. We had over 100 delegates arrive, along with electric vehicle car makers that brought their vehicles in, as well as exhibitors who are focused on charging infrastructure, delivering apps that allow you to charge, as well as energy companies that offer renewable energy. The key speakers that we had was a keynote from a pretty successful company that runs charging infrastructure in Europe. So we had a Q&A session with them. We also had representatives from EV Networks, ChargeFox, JLL, which is a big property group. We had Emma from EV FireSafe, because she has the latest trends on how many electric cars are catching on fire, and whether it's all just a myth or it's actually happening. So that was really, really good, because there's a lot of questions and fear amongst those that want to install EV charging infrastructure that, it's potentially likelihood of a chance of catching fires. So she debunked a lot of those myths.
A leading world authority, you would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she definitely is. And we got her onto just speaking to delegates about that and answering their questions to alleviate any of those fears that they have. And that was quite good. On top of that, we had some people who represent grid companies or work with grid companies to make it easier to install more faster chargers into the ground. Everyone just came together, and there was lots of lessons that were shared, and everyone ran away with something. Plus, they got to see the latest electric cars in the market as well. So, including those from Tesla. And Tesla, as you know, doesn't usually attend many events. So it was great to see them there as well.
Are you having the same event next year as well?
We're thinking about it. We're starting to get into the planning phase of that. Our next event is likely to be focused on the change that's coming with all these new electric vehicle brands coming into our market. So focused on EV charging, the automotive industry, and bringing those together, because we will have a lot more new brands with all the shows coming up early next year. And we want to make sure that all the new brands are out there to tell the same story around their electric vehicles and getting more of them on the road, plus also learning and deploying charging infrastructure as well. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. And we're expecting to have it all put together by February next year.
Very exciting. And we'll just mention a few other events coming up later in the year. We've got what's the mobility one? We've got, what is it?
Mobility Live.
Yeah, mobility coming up later in the year. There's some other events, including Mobility Live, which is that's in Melbourne.
That's it. And I will be speaking there as well. That's an industry electric vehicle and mobility show. So if anyone's around, do come and say hi. That will be in October. Prior to that, we have All Energy. I'll also be speaking there. So if anyone's around, come and say hi.
That's in Melbourne as well.
That's it. Yep.
I wonder what everyone else is doing in the States. Yeah. And they look good.
Yeah, I think it should be good. And then there's the Melbourne Electric Vehicle Show, which by the time listeners get to see this or viewers get to watch this episode, it should be on that weekend. So if you're around, do come and say hi. Carloop will be there. We'll be there representing. And there's just so many new cars and other things to see. So if you're around there in Melbourne at the exhibition centre, do come and say hi.
Been driving anything this week, Riz?
So this week I've had a chance to have a quick look at the new Tesla Model 3. I got a chance to see it at a showroom once again, and it does look pretty cool, pretty good. There's quite a few new changes. In recent times, we've seen a new paint available as well. So Quicksilver, it's a new paint that anyone that's interested can order one with that new paint on it. So that's likely to arrive into the market in the coming months as well. You can already buy a Model Y with Quicksilver. So lots changing, and hopefully Tesla trying to spice things up a bit to keep ahead in terms of their sales. Another quick point is I got to drive the BYD Seal a couple of weeks ago, and word on the street is that there is now digital keys on offer, so you no longer need to carry your physical key to access the car. So that's a great feature which I didn't have when I had that car, but it's available now to some of the new Seal owners with the new software update. So that's quite exciting to see.
There's also an update coming to that car as well, isn't there? The next year there's going to be an updated Seal.
Yeah, there is. So that's also going to be interesting to see, possibly faster charging and a whole lot of other things that BYD is expecting to add, including some rumors suggest LiDAR. I mean, there needs to be a little bit of improvement on its autopilot equivalent system. But yeah, we'll see what the next round of changes bring, and we hope to have that car with delivery starting late this year or early next year, along with the Sea Lion 7, which is its electric SUV counterpart. So stay tuned.
And anything sort of making you think about the EV industry this week? Sort of any musings on the industry?
A lot of shows coming up, which is quite exciting. There's new electric vehicles that'll be showcased for the first time. So I'd be out there talking to people that get to sit into these cars for the very first time, and actually just get their thoughts on it as to what they think, what the car is like, and if they are expecting to see these cars on our roads in the coming months and years. Sort of what do they think the whole market is doing. So it's going to be an interesting time. A lot of these cars are here for the first time, and plenty more brands to come. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that.
That's great. Thank you, Riz. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Adrian. Yeah, good to be on, and look forward to sharing more insights next week.